Dear students, welcome back to my class on conditional sentences part 2. I am Shaila Parvin, Assistant Professor of English Department. In my previous lecture on conditional sentences, I discussed about the first two types of conditional sentences, that is zero conditional and first conditional sentences. Today I will discuss about the rest two types of conditional sentences, that is second conditional and third conditional sentences. Let us begin. At first, let us have a quick recap about conditional sentences. A conditional sentence is a type of sentence that states a condition and the outcome of that condition. A conditional sentence contains a dependent clause, begins with if, and an independent clause which is the result of that stated condition. As I have told you earlier that there are four types of conditional sentences according to the degree of probability that they express. Number one is zero conditional sentence and two is first conditional sentences, that is also called probable conditional sentences. I have discussed these two types. Number three, second conditional sentence, it is also called improbable conditional sentence. Number four is third conditional sentence, which is also called impossible conditional sentence. Today I will discuss these last two types of conditional sentences. Each type of conditional sentence uses different tenses to show the difference in degree of probability. Now I will begin with second conditional sentences. At first, you should know what is second conditional sentence. Second conditional sentence speaks about present or future situation and the condition to fulfill the situation, though not impossible to happen, is unlikely to happen. Notice, it talks about present or future situation and the situation is not impossible to happen, but it is unlikely to happen. It is used to talk about things which are unreal, not true or possible in present or future time, things which don't happen or will not happen. You have to note that where the verb where is used instead of was in first and third person singular number in the case of second conditional sentences. Though the verb of the if clause is in past tense in second conditional sentence, it does not indicate any incident of the past, rather it indicates incidents of present or future time. Now the structure of second conditional sentence. The structure of second conditional sentence is as follows. If plus past indefinite or simple past plus dot dot means some additional words here. Then would plus infinitive or the main form of verb. If I elaborate the structure, then it will look like this chart on the screen. At first if, then subject, then verb past or where, then additional words, then again you have to use a subject, then should, would or might, then V1 or the main form of the verb. As you know that after modal auxiliary should, would, might, you have to use the main form of the verb, then additional words. Let me explain it with an example. If I had enough money, I would help the poor. Notice here at first I use if, then I subject, then had, it is used as the main verb of past indefinite tense, then enough money as additional word, then I use another subject, then would, and then help. Help is used as the main form of verb or the base form of verb, because you know that after modal auxiliary you have to use the base form of verb. Then additional words, the poor. Students, now we'll come to know the use of second conditional sentence. We use second conditional sentence to talk about things in future that are probably not going to be true. Very interesting thing that we are talking about future things which are not probably going to be true. An example, if I own the lottery, I would travel around the world. It means that I have a very small chance of winning lottery and it is unlikely to happen. So I have zero possibility of traveling around the world. Next, we also use it to talk about something in the present which is impossible to happen. Notice, we talk about something in the present, but it is impossible to happen. Example, if I had enough time, I would do the work for you. That is, in reality, I do not have time, so it is impossible for me to work for him. Now, third conditional sentences. The third conditional sentences is used when we are talking about the past and imagining something different from what actually happened. The most important thing here is that both the condition and the result are impossible to take place. It is used for unreal imaginary situation. Now, the structure of third conditional sentence. If plus past perfect dot dot means here there are some additional words, then would plus have plus the past participle form of main verb. If I elaborate the structure, then it will look like this. At first, if plus subject plus had as the auxiliary verb of past perfect tense, then the past participle form of main verb, then some additional word, then again another subject, then you have to use would, should, might, then you have to use have, and then again the past participle form of the main verb, and at last you have to use some additional words. Let me clarify it with example. If I had known it earlier, I would have helped you. Notice, in the if clause or I have used if at first, then subject, then had as an auxiliary verb of past perfect tense, then the past participle form of main verb, then some additional words, comma, then subject, would plus have plus the past participle form of main verb, then additional words. Students, so far we have seen the structure of third conditional sentences as that the if clause is in past perfect form and the main clause is in perfect conditional form. But sometimes the structure of if clause may be different, where there is no if and instead of if we can use had and reposition the subject after had. The structure of this new form of third conditional sentence is like that. At first, had plus subject plus past participle form of main verb plus additional word plus another subject plus would have, should have, or might have. Then again another the past participle form of another main verb. Then additional words. Let me clarify it with example. Had I known it earlier, I would have helped you. Notice here in this sentence, in this altered sentence, I have omitted if and used had at the beginning of the sentence. Then the subject is used after the verb. There is no other change, only the subject and the verb change their position, other remains the same. Students, so far we have discussed all types of conditional sentences. Now let us check how far we have understood. There are some exercise for you. Let us do it. Number 1, if you hit ice. Notice the first sentence, the if clause is in present indefinite tense. So according to the rules of first conditional, we have to use a sentence or a clause which is in present indefinite form. But let us check what is the answer. It melts. It is in present indefinite form. Why? Because this sentence is an example of zero conditional, and as it is a universal truth, so we have used present indefinite form in the main clause. Number 2, I will not go to college if I feel sick tomorrow. Here in the main clause we see the future indefinite tense, so it is in present indefinite form. Number 3, the match will be cancelled if it rains. Here again the main clause is in future indefinite tense, so the if clause is in present indefinite tense. Number 4, dash I would go wherever I like. The answer is, if I were a bird, I would go wherever I like. As the main clause is in past conditional or second conditional, so we have used past indefinite tense in the if clause. Number 5, dash I would travel around the world. Again, this is the example of second conditional, and according to the rules of second conditional, the answer is, if I had enough money, I would travel around the world. Notice here I have used the structure of past indefinite form. Students, please note that it is not necessary that we have to fill the blanks with the words or clauses that I have used. Rather, you can fill the blanks with any other grammatically correct form of words or phrases or clause. Number 6, if you dash me about the meeting, I would have joined. Notice the main clause is in third conditional form, so we have to use past perfect tense here. If you had informed me about the meeting, I would have joined. Number 7, he could have helped you if you dash for his help. Here the main clause is in third conditional form or perfect conditional, so you have to use past perfect tense in the if clause. The answer is, if you had asked for his help. Number 8, had I seen him, I dash him about it. The answer is, had I seen him, I would have told him about it. Number 9, if we pour oil into water, it floats. Notice, this is an universal truth. So, here I have used the structure of zero conditional sentence. Number 10, you will miss you will miss the train. Here, the main clause is in future indefinite tense. So, I have to use present indefinite tense in the if clause. The answer is, if you start late, you will miss the train. So, dear students, that is all for today. Thank you very much for listening to my lecture patiently. Hope that this lecture will help you a lot, and meet you again with another new topic. Till then, stay safe, stay at home. Allah Hafiz.